Donovan.
Donovan, all right,
Yeah.
cool. Just
And you want to say something?
All right, y'all ready? We got to roll now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we back in here. We need answers. I keep saying, I'm going to stop saying we back, but all right, I slipped up. Today, we need answers podcast. Today, we got crew, young males in all aspects of the world, things doing something positive.
Young.
Yeah, I mean, young.
Okay.
Yeah, we going to roll with that. That's a good title for you, man.
All right, I appreciate that. Yeah.
We got Tony in here. We got Donovan in here. We got Mr. Bert in here, fresh out of Indianapolis. Houston in here, and we got Cherry Hill via Lansing, Michigan. We all over the map right now.
Yeah, facts.
We all over the map right now. Quick story on how this came apart. I was just telling Tony about how the world's so small, and it just give me confirmation of what I'm doing. My god brother, Free Tay, is Tony's cousin, and we met years ago. We just couldn't remember. Like, I couldn't remember. He remembered, but I forgot. It was so long ago, and he got his clothing line coming up, and he talked to Tay about the clothing line. Tay is locked up in Virginia right now, and Tay just told me like he don't know what he can do. He can line them up with me, and hopefully something could grow from it. Talk me about it. I'm all for it. And just like I always say on here, and I tell everybody, like, I don't care. Like, this show ain't shit without my guests. So if you come in with something and I can do something to boost it, or you can help boost it, we gonna help each other. So if you bring something to the table, we gonna blow it up and do as much as we can. And once we talked, and I said it's a go. We locked this in like a month ago. Tony gave me the whole story about how his transition into law. And one of my best close homeboys from Philly that I know from Eastern Shore, everybody, all my friends from Baltimore know they share the same mentor, which is Mr. Bert right here. I met Bert years ago. I don't remember when, but I always heard a lot about him, and it came full circle. So it's just confirmation that these three guys that I never even knew each other, and it all connected in one circle somehow, some way, because this world's so small. We here today. So the main reason we here is to talk about this clothing line you got. Right. And the title of the clothing line is
Kill Karen.
Kill Karen. And I'll let you explain it, but this whole process transitions into the law field, and you can break it down. Just tell me how you came up with the idea and what's it about.
So I'm in law school, my third year of WMU Cooley Law School, and I was on break in June. I was in Baltimore, and I saw the situation with the Central Park Karen, and I'm like, God, how can we do something to combat this? Because after a while, picketing and all that. I pay attention to history. I'm like, that stuff is not really doing anything. You need ownership. You also need just other matters. So while I was driving, I just kept looking at the video like, God, like, man, I hope, man, these Karens gotta chill. I'm like,
and
chill.
by Karens you mean?
Yeah, like it's not all white women, because it's not a racist thing, but it's more so of like a moniker for certain white women who utilize a given power, to abuse it. Abuse, the situation or the matter with other people of color, sometimes even their own kind. Okay. So it's not all white women, but that was the main reason. I'm like, okay, just how to combat the situation and to kind of also poke fun at them in that situation, so that they learn from it. But that was the whole point. I'm like, I kept saying like, chill Karen, and then a light bulb went off in my head like, chill Karen. So that was the reason I went back to my hotel and just created the website.
Okay. And the basically the design behind the shirts and the hoodies is what?
The design. So everything I did myself, like the whole design. I went on Canva. I did everything completely myself. I heat pressed it because I have experience in graphic design from my Carver days. Okay. But the whole design more so of just like, okay, this is a way to frame a person who's abusing their power. Okay. It's kind of like if when people say Hitler, Hitler is attached to. Yeah. So you may not know who this white woman is if you see her without these glasses. But if you say Karen, you know
what type of time
exactly what it is, right?
Yeah.
So that's exactly what it is. Like, that's the point of it. It's not to put these women completely in like a complete negative zone, but it's kind of like more of a reflection of their own actions.
Okay.
Like now you can learn from it.
Yeah, once you see it, you see a million people walking around with your face on the shirt.
Yeah.
And it's basically saying that you gotta chill, basically.
And they not. And the funny thing about it, you wouldn't know who this woman is without her glasses.
Yeah.
Even if she had different shades on, you would not know who she is.
Right.
But she know.
Yeah.
And it's for her to understand. Okay, I was wrong in that situation.
Okay.
I'll fix my matter next time.
Okay. And so I know we talked outside about using faces on the clothing lines, and you so break down how is that, because when you initially told me about it, like I said, I thought like, well, how is it legal or possible to put someone's face on a shirt and not be like taking a court,
like defamation of character.
Yeah.
So that's what a tort, right? So that's a tort, and it's crazy. Well, it's law school. So, but I still have to do more research. You got federal laws and you got state laws, just being completely general.
Mm-hmm.
But public people versus private people completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So she would be considered a private people, and the first thing is the intent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, am I intentionally doing something that is not of her character?
Okay.
You know, that's like if I say she can be a nice person, but I have her on the shirt as like the evilest person, and everyone is wearing the shirt, it disparages the intent first.
Okay.
My intent is not to damage her character. My intent is to focus on that situation.
Right.
She's a private person. I started to do more research on Maryland law because it's been a while. I think it's been maybe a few weeks since I've done it, but I have it written up. But the fact is, my intent is not to damage her character in the sense of her individuality or what it stands for. My intent is to focus on the situation in which she herself embarrassed herself for. This is already public.
Okay.
That's what I want to say. This is already public. This is not me. This is not a person who you don't know.
Yeah. In
the sense of if you seem like a regular person off the street, you know her from this matter.
Okay. So you can't just, a person walking down the street, you can't just take a picture of her and then put on a shirt and say, "Don't be Karen."
No, you can't.
It gotta be a backstory kind of.
It has to be more to it. It's elements you gotta follow.
Okay.
So it's like with law, at least in certain laws, there's elements, especially in tort law, you gotta follow certain elements.
Right.
So the major element with defamation of character is intent.
Okay.
What is my intent?
Okay.
So my intent is not to harm her career, but to focus on a situation where she harmed herself.
Okay. Okay. So where are you selling the merchandise at right now?
I'm selling it online. I'm also selling it online at chillkaren.com.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can follow me on Barca Thoughts at Instagram, and also Chill Karen at Chill Karen on Instagram.
Okay.
I also have online, like I stated, and I also like do home deliveries.
Okay.
So
talk about, you was telling me also about interactions with Caucasian women that come across the clothing.
Yeah, so it's actually positive. You know, it's actually positive because I would talk, and that was the one thing I wanted, because I'm big on respect.
Right.
So my brand, if you look at it, and I believe I have it on the website on the about section. It's respect. I believe it's respect, integrity, and respect, integrity, and I believe communication.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm big on respect completely across the boards. You know, so. The one thing I wanted to do was go talk to some of my white homegirls just to make sure that it didn't come off completely racist.
Mm-hmm.
So when I talked to them, and I wanted to like really make sure that it wasn't completely racist in the sense that, you know, sometimes people say, yeah, it was okay, but they feel it some type of way.
Right.
No, so I wore the shirt,
mm-hmm.
and I'm okay, like, what's up? Like, let me know. And they were talking, I like it. So they started to buy it.
Okay.
And then we started to talk about it. And some of them say, look, we know the situation. So one of my friends, I'm not gonna put a name up, my banker actually, two of my bankers, like close friends, they put me onto TikTok.
Okay.
And they said, check TikTok out. That's a chill Karen thing. So I started looking at TikTok, and there was other white women talking about Karens.
Okay.
So they're like, yeah, we know it's not every white woman. It's just these are the ones who stand out for the bunch. So that kind of took a load off me because I didn't want to come off negative.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, boom. Now this is more wind against my back to push me forward.
Okay.
So.
Cool. So what's the future for the clothing line? Is it going to strictly stay about this, or
no?
It's going to expand it?
So right now it's strictly focusing on the women of history who have done,
mm-hmm.
you know, and just the women who put themselves out there as a way to combat it.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully it goes global to the point because there aren't just Karens in America.
Right.
There's Karens. I've seen images of black or brown people in South Africa, some in some in Asian countries like I want to say China or not China, Japan, where like I think it was next to an embassy or something. I had to check out again, and someone felt more entitled to say, "Hey, this is me," and the guy was like, "No, you're actually in my country."
Okay.
So I hope it goes global to where it's like, okay, it kind of checks the bigger issue, which is like white supremacy.
Okay. True.
And because everyone to a certain extent, they gain certain privileges from just white supremacy.
Okay.
Not all white women have it, but I won't even say that, but just typically some of them know their power.
Right. Definitely. Okay, so be on the lookout for that, and I'm gonna tag the page and all that. So if y'all interested in seeing the products, you can put it on the camera too if you want. But y'all can check the page, all that. So as you just talking about, you very well, you into law right now, right?
Yeah.
So talk about how you got into that.
This man,
Okay.
this man. All right, so Mr. Elmore, I give Mr. Elmore the greatest respect. He's still like my greatest mentor, even though he come in my neck all the time. I'm gonna rock out. But I was so like he told the story. I was debating whether or not I was actually thinking about dropping out of college at the time. I'm like,
what school was you at?
I was at Lincoln University. The first HBCU. We got promoted.
Yeah.
So
what year was this?
This is 2014.
Okay.
I was thinking about dropping out of college. I'm like, man, I don't need this. I can go. I've already traveled the world. I can go just start a business because I'm wasting my time here.
Mm-hmm.
And I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I kind of lost passion for what I really wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up running to him via my line brother Stacy.
Okay.
So me and him, it was funny because we coming from a party and he you can probably remember this. I read H. Rap Brown's book, Die Nigga Die. Mm-hmm. And I had like my hat turned to the back, just like a little fashion, and he was talking to me. He must have thought I was stupid at first. So just yeah, I think he didn't think that. He was testing me.
All right, okay.
But we was just talking in his house, and he had a nice house. It was like the first I met around, we come from the city, so I know a lot of real black men, but he like one of the most authentic, real men.
Yeah,
like a man's man.
I talk about that a lot. Just it's very rare that we come across men that's like not in the streets.
Yeah, right.
I know what you're saying, but go ahead though.
Right, so he was just teaching me, giving me game, and we were just talking, we kind of hit it off. So when I was at the crossroads of what I wanted to do, Stacy was like, well, you can call my uncle. I'm like, bet. So I called him. He's like, man, you come up here. And I moved to your house June 11th. I never forget, June 11th, 2014.
Okay.
And then it changed my life. So I'm just like, okay. And I ain't gonna front. He'll tell you, we were like, I thought I worked too hard, that everything paid off. So we were lazy when we got there. And he was like, I stopped saying the N-word, which is crazy, but I'm saying right now as an effect. He was like, man, y'all niggas lazy. He was like 60-something years old. The trash due on Tuesday, right? He's running down the steps. I'm like, yo, how can an old, like, running, like, full speed, y'all lazy niggas, grabbing the trash bags. And I'm like, damn, this making me look bad.
I got you.
But he put me into that perspective. And just to his point, not just to end it, with me, because I was still debating on whether or not to go to law while I was with him. Mm-hmm. But he had did something that just blew my mind. It was a young girl, I was talking to service, a young girl, like light-skinned black girl, and I think she's going to West, what is it, Wesley? What's that college in?
Oh, I don't know.
But the college by Lincoln, Wesley, something like that. But
but no,
it was so funny because it's like 5:00 and the courtroom's closed at 5:00, and she was the last case, so it's me, him, there's another young attorney. So we leaving out, and they're trying to extend her probation. Okay. So we dumped it. It's a long day, and she by herself. It's like 2 ADAs, 2 assistant district attorneys, and it's her, and it's the judge. So we leaving out, and he the last one out. He said, I'm not gonna let them do this to this little girl. So he turned back. So me and the other attorney, we stay in the doorway looking. He said, Your Honor, I'm gonna enter for this young girl. She said, Bert, you already gave me help for the day. He said, no, I can't let them do it. I'm gonna stay here. So we watched. So they were trying to extend her probation, and she like, I come from nothing. Like I was homeless. I'm going to college now. This is my only way out. They like, no, you gotta go. You need to extend your probation with us. She's like, I can't do it. So Mr. Elmore, he said, look, you talked about, like, he said, well, this is how long it takes for financial aid to hit or something like that. He said, I got a young boy right here who just graduated. He pointed at me. He said, Tom, how is it with financial aid? How is it? I said, and I told him So long story short, he ended up getting the young girl off. Like the whole case was dropped.
Okay.
And she's like, thank you. She's about to start crying, like, thank you. Like, don't even worry about it. He walked off and it blew my mind. I'm like, yo, he didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
He didn't even care. He didn't even care for anything. He just walked out. I'm like, okay, that's what I need to do.
Okay.
So,
okay. That was a powerful moment.
Yeah.
Where you get that empathy from, Mr. Burt?
Well, first of all, I want to say thanks for allowing me the opportunity to come on your
Thank you for coming.
broadcast.
And traveling down. I appreciate you.
Oh, no, I don't, you know. Someone told me, I said, oh, well, I better get my old ass up. This broadcast, what is it, podcast?
Podcast,
I was telling people and they said, you don't even know what it is. I said, well, I'm going, So I do appreciate now having a better understanding when people say a podcast and what's going on.
Okay.
But no, I've always had a commitment to the African American community, and while we don't, a lot of times we don't see the change. You young people don't see the changes. Being in the age that I am and having come up out of the 60s,
you've seen it.
I've seen a lot of changes, and this doesn't have this. I'm gonna have to tell this because I'll forget. I saw something that really made me feel like things are really changing.
Okay.
Last weekend, I was coming out of the store and walking in my car, and there was a Target, and this white woman had this little white girl, and they had obviously been shopping. This little white girl, I guess she's about 6, 7, 8, maybe. I don't know. She's young, and she had her little gift. She had just bought her little doll baby, a baby doll, whatever, a doll. And she's walking, and I looked at her, I said, wait, what? That little girl and she's holding it tight, had a black doll.
Okay. Okay.
And I said to myself, I never seen nothing like this.
Yeah.
I had to say something. And I said, I appreciate you. And see, when I was growing up in the 50s and 60s, they wouldn't let a white woman buy a black doll for a white child. Okay. Matter of fact, they whooped her ass and so what are you, a nigga lover? We know that. Well, number one, they didn't have many black dolls to sell then. They didn't sell black dolls back then too much. But for a white woman and her child to buy, you just didn't do that.
It's saying something.
So when I saw it, I said, Trump and that whole racist gathering that he has following him, they can forget it. This is their last hurrah. Okay. You know what I mean? Okay. They're trying to hold on, but they're going to lose this. Okay. Because that little girl, apparently, she does not see race. Yeah. Like, it don't matter. It don't matter. And at that age, she's going to become, and she's really going to think, well, why would you dislike somebody because of race? You're out of your mind. It don't make sense. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I had my dolls, she might have, maybe the dolls like her playmate, Right. But times have changed, and I really appreciated that. That gave me a lot of hope. Yeah, I appreciate that story too. This country's gonna survive. Okay. And it's gonna get better. Okay. But it's gonna be rough when we got destroyed to rebuild. Yeah. But going back to this young man, Tone, when I went to college, and of course they hate for me to say this, my first 3 years of college, I only got 1 B. Okay. All the rest was A's. Okay.
What about the fourth year?
The fourth year, you sharp. The fourth year, I got put out. I went to Wilberforce, which is a black school in the Central State, which is basically across the street, not right down the road. I got put out of Wilberforce because I was student president at Wilberforce. I did some things. We sued the university. We did some protesting. Okay. So they put my black ass
you was on your Samuel Jackson, the Morehouse. Okay. That's how he was getting down there. They tied up the teacher.
Well, I wasn't there. They put my black ass out. Okay. So I went over to Central State. And there, I could have did I still did good grades, but I took this one class, which was a 5-credit class, and I had a report. The teacher said, well, you're not going to get an A if you don't do this report. I said, sir, as old as I am, because I went to school late, I said, I'm not doing that report. Just give me a B. So that didn't help my grade. Plus, I took Spanish, and I still can't speak Spanish.
Oh, man.
So,
what you get in that class?
What you get? C.
Oh, man.
See your way out. That was a blessing, because I wasn't supposed to get that. But in black schools, people talk up for you.
Okay.
And one of the advisors went and told the Spanish teacher, said, this guy, because I had been an activist in Indianapolis, and everybody knew that they'd read my articles, and she went and told him, said, yo, we know he probably deserves an F. But the teacher, the professor said, yeah, he tries hard. He has all, I had all these stack of these cars, help me with this thing.
Yeah.
I really worked at it.
Okay.
But I just had a barrier. I don't know what it was, but so she talked to him. I got C, see your way out, and that other case. So I didn't end up with the grades that I had at Wilberforce. The one. That's why I didn't have.
Okay. Gotcha.
Plus, I just decided. Oh, when you get old, you know how you went to school, right?
Yeah.
So you know how you get that senioritis thing.
Yeah,
I'm not
going
over
it.
I'm done. It's over with. So.
Gotcha.
But no, I met this kid here, and to make a long story short, I think we all have. There's certain things that move us, to do certain things. In my field, I was protesting in Indianapolis and writing things and I wrote a complaint about workers there that the Department of Labor agreed with my position, and I got all the workers that back time and got them a pay increase. Okay. And it was literally thousands of them in Indianapolis. And one of my friends who's an attorney, I was in his office. He said, I read about you in the paper. I said, yeah, that was a good thing. He said, well, you like helping niggas. And he said, I said, yeah, I like helping niggas. And he said, yeah, I don't mind. He said, you like helping all these black folk. He said, if you'd have been a lawyer, you would have gotten paid. Right. You got a third of all that money you got all the people. I said, you're kidding me. He said, no. I said, well, I guess I'm going to go. He said, you can make money and help people? He said, yeah. So I said, I guess I want to be a lawyer. Okay. So I walked out of his office. I said, how long does it take to be a lawyer? He said, 7 years. And I said, 7? I said, all right, cool. I got it. Okay. So that's how I became a lawyer.
How old were you at that time?
I was like 29.
Okay. So you started late.
Yeah.
So it's still would you say it's possible for somebody to jump in at that age, at this
Oh,
age?
hell yeah. I always recommend it's not where you start, it's where you end up. Okay. And I recommend, matter of fact, I'm trying to get some young people now. Well, they're not young, they're not young. Yeah. They're in their 30s. Okay. All right, I'm trying to tell them now, it ain't too late. You can go to school.
Good idea. You might
that's why this kid here, this young man, my cousin, Donovan, is he came up, talked to me about what do I do, and I said you make money. Number one, he likes money. Right. So we all do. Yes, we do. Yeah. And he makes good money for a young man, but he said I don't want to work hard all my life like that. True. And I said, you see, do I work hard? Do I appear to work hard? No. He said no. So now he's hooked on becoming a lawyer. Okay.
So how long does it take for one? Because I know if you convincing somebody at this age, that process takes long, but how long does it take to start making money though? Does it take 7 years?
No, it depends. Okay. Now I'm one of Shaka's mentors. Shaka Johnson is a big time lawyer now. Okay. In Philadelphia. Okay. And I'm one of his mentors. And Shaka hasn't been practicing long enough in about 10 years. Okay. And he's been making money, I would say probably the last 5 years. Real money. Okay. I mean, real, I ain't talking about, he's
Okay.
I don't know for this business, but he's making money. He's not making no, like, he just bought a new Maybach type.
Oh, okay.
And without,
Shout out to Shaka.
And the thing about it, he's a good lawyer.
Okay, cool.
He's a real good lawyer.
Cool.
So, it depends on the individual.
Okay.
Some people I know get out of school and they don't make any money because they don't know how to articulate the practice.
Okay.
I articulate the practice to help black people. Some people articulate like Shaka likes to help black people and make a lot of money. Okay. But I didn't come from that era. I came from the best thing we wanted to do when I was young was be a community leader. Okay. It wasn't about making money. It was about helping black men. Our heroes was H. Rap Brown, Stokely Carmichael, Everett Cleaver. Okay. All those type people. Yeah. Where then today you got a lot of young boys that have the boys that make the money in the hood. Boys in the game. Mm-hmm. And that's the big difference. Mm-hmm. Having people make money, but see, the thing about it is that it goes full circle. Mm-hmm. The guys that hustle and make a lot of money in the game, mm-hmm. a lot of them leave the game and they invest in the community. Right. But the more important thing, they make sure that their children taken care of, and that they go to the best school. Right. And there's more of them. Right. So we have a lot more things going on in our community than so I always like to say you can go to law school. Uh-huh. You don't have to go. Tone's a good example. He's not rich. He doesn't come from the rich hill. He comes from the poor. No, I'm not gonna say that. Tone.
You come out of one of the roughest parts of
Baltimore. He come from Baltimore, and Tone's gonna make a lot of money. Oh yeah. Because he knows it. See, you make money by the number of people you know in your community. Okay. Like Shaka was a master. He's not even from Philly, but he was a master at PR. Okay. And what really made him good is that not only was he good with PR, but he was good in the courtroom. Okay. That combination made him, very successful. Okay. See, some people talk a good game. Yeah. But when you can talk a good game and build a good game, back it up. See, that's how you make that money. Yeah, yeah. And I'm real proud of him. And then he has a young lady named Jessica. And then I got a black genius that's a law genius. What was his name? Aaron. Mm-hmm. Aaron Bell. Mm-hmm. Fantastic young person. I'm mentoring him right now as if he needs it. But, have you talked to Aaron?
I think, I talked to Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron is unique. Okay.
That's one of the good memory?
No, Aaron is, Aaron had it rough. Uh-huh. Both parents on crack. Okay. So, both parents on crack, normally everybody goes to jail. Yeah. Why, isn't that weird? It's like automatic. Both his parents on crack is like, well, he's going to jail.
Passed down. Shit passed down through the blood.
He's going to jail. Am I right, Tom?
No broken heart. I mean, no.
But most of the time, people that both parents on drugs, they go to jail.
It usually be a bad story.
Yeah, they become a drug dealer.
Yeah, mm-hmm. But with Aaron ended up getting in some trouble. Does not have I think Aaron got a GED. Okay. And went to jail. Mm-hmm. Did 5 to 10. Mm-hmm. And got out. I said, you don't have it. Went to college. And he got out, went to college, went to law school, and when he took his bar exam, mm-hmm. he got one of the highest scores in the country.
Oh shit!
So it's not where we start; it's where we where we end up. And so
it's always about, I guess, never giving up.
Yeah.
So even when the odds stacked against you, you still can.
You can still do that. Yeah. So I always say, but he is a lead. He enjoys, most people, Tone would probably enjoy him because he's still in law school. And Aaron just hasn't been out that long. But they would. I'm gonna tell you about another thing Aaron did. I forgot to mention. He sued the city and the police department in federal court before he became a lawyer while he was in jail.
Oh shit!
And won. He had in federal court.
Damn.
He won $100,000 for himself.
How is that possible? How can you do it without?
You can represent yourself.
Oh, okay.
He represented himself, didn't have no.
He did his own.
That's why I say he's a legal genius.
Okay.
And he lost one.
Okay.
How do you do that, Tom? Can you imagine right now? To go out and try a federal case, a jury trial.
That's like Black Panther. was that Angela Davis or was that
which one?
Was that Kathleen Cleaver? Who represented herself, but all of them represented themselves. Tupac mother represented herself.
Well, a lot of them represented, but what happened with that? They all had. Well, they said they had backup lawyers.
Yeah.
Now he also. Aaron is just a good guy. He's really smart.
Okay.
Really smart.
So
what you gonna say, Tom?
No, that 50 Cent just came out with a show. Coming out with a show.
Okay.
About that black attorney.
Yeah.
Who did? I think he did like 20 years, but he had 70 or 100 years getting back some of it. He represented himself.
Okay.
End up realizing what was going on because they framed him or whatever. Got out. He was writing everybody else. He became a jailhouse lawyer in prison, and ended up getting out and becoming an attorney.
Okay. That doesn't happen that much.
No.
I think it normally happens maybe about 10 times. You know what I mean? In 20 years, it doesn't happen. They just don't have to. That's really rare.
I got an episode I'm gonna send y'all about a guy that had a similar case in Baltimore. He goes into detail about that too. He gave that time back because they wrongfully accused and stuff like that. But I'll share it with y'all. But you speak a lot about mentorship and how important it is to give back and teach. Because I say this in that damn near every episode, one of the common quotes that I got that I run with is, you must teach what is taught. You gotta give that game back and pull your people up. It serves us no purpose of holding on to knowledge unless you share it.
Right.
Because we can't help each other. But what I admire about everything that you sharing and as you were sharing about your experiences with Mr. Burt is the mentorship. So how easy is it for someone to get mentorship from you, or to just seek some knowledge?
Just call me.
Okay.
So I tried to have a website.
Okay.
But I'm an old man.
You like it old school. Just how
I just don't know how to do all that, but I'm gonna get there. Okay. I'm getting better. Okay. I don't know how to take pictures. I scanned some documents to Aaron and emailed them to him. That's a major event for me. That was big. That was big. Like I scanned it without nobody else, without no help.
You probably feel like you just set up a whole computer.
Wait, I might even have it on my phone. What Aaron said, he's smart ass. He said, I know he didn't believe it. See, I know, you said I pulled out this phone, I know how to look at things.
You know how to make it happen.
I know how to make it happen. But I have to put, I don't know how to make it happen too well. But anyway, no, I think that and I'm very proud of Tony. See what you have is, and this is the new generation, because black people, we don't like, in particular black men, they don't like working for, as we used to say, the man.
Yeah.
We just don't.
Right.
Because they don't treat us with respect and they don't pay us. I had a very rich white friend of mine. Well, he wasn't no friend, he was an acquaintance, I guess. We were cool. He was probably one of the most powerful people in Indianapolis.
Okay.
And he said one day, it was very profound. He said, we know those young people, most of those people driving them big cars, they would have to be selling drugs or doing something illegal. He said because he said in your food, that's what they called me back then. He said we don't pay black men that kind of money. We simply don't. We don't hire them to pay them that kind of money. And that was very profound. I said, damn, this white man actually telling me that the white power structure, white business people simply do not pay black men any money.
Right.
He basically was saying they're not gonna ever. We just that's not what we do.
Okay.
So black men knowing that we always see the entrepreneur, like most black lawyers, very few hanging there with law firms.
Okay.
They leave the large white law firms
And
start their own.
Okay.
Because the racism and just having somebody blocking you, coming up with an idea, your idea, no, I don't like that. But most of us, a lot of lawyers, black lawyers, work for black law firms and create their own. That's what they do.
Okay.
Because we just don't.
Gotta get it ourselves.
You gotta get it ourselves, and I like Tone. See, Tone, what you doing, and I like it, is that you are saying, I'm gonna practice law, but I'm also gonna do business.
Yeah.
See, and I'm hoping that once you get a taste and you start making some money, see, you have your law degree. Did you know most major corporations are led by business? Most of the CEOs are lawyers.
Okay. Because they know the business, the laws.
The 500, yeah.
I saw that. I checked
the 500. A lot of the major, they all have law degrees, even though they don't practice law. Right. So what I'm hoping that you do is take the law and mix it with your business side, and then you can really make money and learn how to make money all the way around, business and law. Because Shaka, who's making a lot of money now, doing very, very successful young man. He told me once I'm a better I like business better than I do law.
Same.
It's the same thing. So but he's doing criminal law.
Okay.
And eventually he probably will move on to something else and create some businesses and things of that nature.
So question. I got a couple more questions, but I just reminded me. If you're not a person that likes to take tests or study and stuff, is law for you? Or is it any way you can master this without?
You can do it. See, law, you only take one test a year. One test a semester.
It's a lot of research, though. Right?
Well, it's hard. Now they do stress you out, and that is very difficult. Okay. But I think what we need to do, all you gotta do is just say you want to do it, and then don't lose confidence with what that you can do it. But sometimes it happens. Him and Stacey they lost a little bit of confidence because it's difficult. Yeah. It is really difficult. And that's why they make it so particular for us. So that's why they make it so difficult, But you just have to you can't give up. Okay. And I'm so glad they did not give up because many times they both had, I can't do this, I can't. But they, now they're doing it. They'll be both lawyers in the next year. That's what's up. So that's what's important. It is. It's like, so I just think that we can accomplish everything we want to accomplish. And I like what, and I have to tell you this, young man. I wasn't raised poor, as one would say. My family, both my parents worked, they were together and all that. Okay. And I didn't have to worry about a lot of things. Now I live in North Philadelphia. Living there for 30 years. What amazes me is that people like Aaron, Tone, I don't know what your background is, but you guys have a tendency, black people, y'all overcome tremendous odds. And I would want, if I was white, I wouldn't want to compete with you either. Okay. Because you guys, where y'all start at and where you end up,
resilient.
How you start down, way down, or down to zero.
It's scary for them. That's why they treat us the way they treat us. They don't want us to overpower. They know we strong.
That's like that Tay Grizzly verse. I can't think of it, but it made so much sense because he compared himself to Kylie Jenner, and he said, I forget the whole verse, but he's like, basically, she made a bill and I made this. He said, but thinking about our circumstances, she come from money. I come from the gutter. So I actually made more than her in the long term because I really come from the mud. You come from money. So it's easy for you to make $1 billion, for me to make $100 million or whatever.
Yeah, but you guys, y'all, and it's difficult, but you guys do it anyway. And I think that's one of the main problems that the racism exists as it does, is that they don't want anybody else can come in this country and compete. But they do not want to.
They don't want.
And then there's another thing. They don't like to compete, and they have the fear of us coming at them. Once if we become, but that's illogical thinking. Well, they don't think it's like, they feel it's logical thinking in their way of life. But people of color, majority, if anybody on this planet had any reason outside of us that hate Americans as they should, but they don't, is the Vietnamese. They committed modern genocide. When I say that, I'm talking about this country government committed modern day genocide on those people. Killed millions. Millions of them. But right now, they said, they're not trying to blow up things in this country. They're not, they're not like talking about, we going to get the Americans. They don't. Matter of fact, the Vietnamese, you go there, they welcome you. Okay, we had a war, we gonna move on. And that's something that I don't know what it is about particular, well, I guess they've done so much wrong, I don't understand. But they actually believe that we're gonna be, they don't want us, they think we have a revenge heart. We really don't. All we're gonna do is get up off my neck. I'll go live my life.
If they fall back, this world would be a lot more peaceful. Because we as niggas and black people, we not literally going out to say, fuck white people, let's do this. Y'all come at us and then we forced to do that.
That's our mindset.
We
no people of color care about that.
But I think what it is, it's like I don't know if you said that, because I was thinking about it. I think the last is a karma situation. I was telling somebody about karma. Cause I think some of the stuff we think about when we think about karma, we like, man, karma don't work because all these evil people live until they're like 90. But I think it's when you understand, you accept your intent. It's like some guys in the street, back in the day, I remember when guys do something like dirty, they knew what they were doing. You set your mind up to do something, and then you like, I gotta accept that. You put it in your mind, doesn't come. But when it's a person, when it's war, at least from their mindset, at least because I've been around a lot of them, they don't accept. They don't accept that they're doing something wrong. They think it's a way of in your mindset.
They program.
They program themselves like, oh, it's not coming to me.
That's just like when they say you can't be you taught racism. Like you're not birthed to hate.
Right.
You're taught that.
It's like what it is. I quote it. I think about it's like we come from the project, so it's like you got rats, you got mice. So you kill a mouse, you're like, oh, it's just a mouse. But now you start thinking like that's a life. Like even though I'm afraid because it's a mouse. I don't kill a mouse anymore. I'll grab a bag, if not a rat, I ain't in front of a rat.
Two different times.
They fight back. You get it, like, so it's like.
I know exactly what you mean.
So you look at it from that mindset, it's like, I'm not gonna kill a nigga, he'll kill himself. I'll kill a black man, because he might fight back.
Got you. Good point.
I look at it from that, like, it's a karma. It's not their intent to, not all of them, because I've met too many great ones, but for the ones who think negative, their intent is already built on this is that.
Pretty much.
Well, they have white society has to come to grips with their hatred and fear of us, and things would get a lot better. They wouldn't be so. They wouldn't be in a position where they don't want to help. The situation that they created, they brought us here, they enslaved us, and then they don't want to even admit to that. We didn't really do. Oh no, you did it, and the reason is, what really is one of the biggest things that they're working on us now with is this criminal justice, the guns. You all in Baltimore, as you know, they're always talking about the gunplay, the kids getting shot, the violence in the black community. Well, I want to ask you this. What would happen if they gave everybody in jail a gun?
it wouldn't be no
Yeah,
jail.
it would be no jail.
It'd be what?
Everybody be dead.
Everybody be. There'd be a lot of. There would be a lot of shootings to say. Okay.
What did you say?
So there's a brother named Malcolm X. Said if you're black, you was born in jail. So now think about that. Mm-hmm. If you're black, you're born in jail. Mm-hmm. Our communities have everything that dishonesty, distrust, all the things that you find that jails
without
build.
the bars.
Right.
But when you give a gun, like somebody's in jail, right? Mm-hmm. And you give that person, like you just said. So what they have done, we got all these things in our community, all this divisiveness and all this anger and all this uptightness. And yet they flood our communities with guns. They allow guns in our community. Right. And we know, I would like for people to have, I'm not afraid of guns, but it's our attitude. The mindset. Yeah. So it's just like you said it. If you gave everybody in jail a gun, there'd be a lot of shit going on in jail, right? A lot of shooting. So we're born in jail somewhat, as Malcolm said. You're right. And so and they allow guns, and they say, well, give them guns, and that's all they have. We don't have a cultural base. Right. Really strong enough to say what's right, what's wrong, and to unify us. Yeah. That's the main issue. So what it's so weird because I do criminal law. They have a perpetual thing. All right now. Here's a young kid get caught. Now we got 400 million guns in this country. More guns than you have people. Okay. All right, and they're selling them more and more every day. They working overtime creating guns. I don't know. They really are. They're manufacturing these guns. All right,
always sell.
Always selling guns. And the real reason why they want guns, they allow the society to have guns like it was because of black people. You know that. Yeah. There's a book called you heard. I don't know if y'all read. You ought to give you have it. The Hidden History of the Second Amendment. No. This white guy, he tears them up about, he lays it out about why we had guns, and one of the main factors that we have the Second Amendment with their great number 2 amendment, right to bear arms. With the right to bear arms, we were one of the main factors, not the main factor, that we have to protect ourselves from slave rebellion. Okay. And the slaves were blacks. Wow. So that's why it's part of American culture that have this gun to protect themselves. They say it's self-defense, but consciously and subconsciously, all this is about is protecting oneself from black people. Okay. And that's why people out in Nebraska, where there are absolutely no blacks, have 20 and 30 guns, thinking that that black man might come out here and try to get me. Yeah. But because it's been woven in our history. Yeah, that black people are going to come and get you. Yeah. And that slave is going to come and get you. Okay. So, but here's what they do. And they talk about the violence in our community. You arrest a young black boy who has a gun because he's scared, and I talk to him all the time. I mean, I represent these niggas. I get them out of trouble. Yeah. I get one out, I got never forget. I got this one boy out of a jam. No, it all not just one. I'm thinking about it. A lot of them. 18, 19, 20, 21. I win their gun case because of the illegal search and seizure. That's basically where you win them. Yeah. And then a month or two, sometimes only lasts a month. They get another gun, locked back up on another gun charge. Yeah. Because they feel they believe the perception that's been put out there that is dangerous. And if you don't have a gun, you gonna get killed. Yeah. So you have to have a gun. Protect yourself. You gotta protect yourself. I live in North Philly. Not allegedly is one of the poorest places in America. I don't feel like I need a gun. It's not. They create these perceptions in these young people. And of course they help too by promoting this every TV every rap video is what, gangster rap? And they point and shoot a gun and all this.
You gotta touch on that. That's crazy because I remember when we used to come up, and I used to do research on like gangster rap, and the media named it gangster rap.
Yeah.
NWA never named it gangster rap. If you ever watch their Arsenal interview, they like, no, it's reality rap. We only reporting on it. They kept saying it's reality rap. But the media know it's gangster rap to the point where they accepted it.
Yeah.
But even coming from Cherry Hill, like, oh, it's from, from different hoods. I remember going to Carver and wearing, I know we was joking one time. He like, yo, man, y'all kill each other. I'm like, yo, I said, it ain't, if you're not in it, they not looking for you. I said, I can walk in every part of Cherry Hill and they know who I am.
They know who to deal with.
Exactly.
It's the same as every hood.
Every hood. I said, so they not, so if you go to Cherry Hill now, you like, oh, it's beautiful. This. You like, but how is this the worst hood in Baltimore? It's an island. So that's no different than I go to Park Heights. So I can walk from everywhere in Cherry Hill, even when it was in its worst. Right. And nothing would happen to me, even if they didn't know my family, because you're not in it. Right. And that's that touch on what Mr. Burt was saying. It's all about, if you carry a gun, it's like when you wear a vest without a gun, you a target. Yeah. Because, all right, well, why you got this vest on, something up? You carry a gun and you ain't in no beef or nothing, and you looking for something. That's why as soon as somebody cross your path and say something wrong, you clutching. You gonna grab that gun, because you created that already. That's why I tell people who had guns sometimes. Somebody, I'm like, yo, you don't need a gun. Like, I've been around it most of my life more than you have. Yeah. I don't need a gun because I'm not bringing the energy towards me. Yeah. Why do you need a gun? I've been shot at before. Not saying I'm a gangster. I've almost lost my life multiple times as a kid. You've been
because of what?
Just being
black in the hood.
Yeah, being black in the hood. But just those certain situations, I'm like, so. You've been robbed before. I understand that, but to the point where once you get over your understanding, you got a gun, cool, but you don't gotta walk around with it all the time.
Well, no, I think the issue is that, and I didn't know that they. I really appreciate you telling me they have the ability. That's what makes a racist. That's what makes racism so. They have the power. They had the power to define what the name of that music. Yeah. And they called it, let's call it gangster rap. Yeah. So I didn't see the power of the media and the people that run these companies, let's call it gangster rap. And I didn't know that. So they defined that. Right. And therefore then instead of being called something else, now it's been called gangster rap for years now. Oh yeah. They didn't call it gangster rap. No, watch the interview. He said, Arsenio Hall, he said, gangster rap, and Easy and was like, it's not gangster rap, it's reality rap. We call it reality rap. Yeah. And he said, oh, sorry, and he corrected himself. They said it like in multiple interviews, but to the point where I think after Easy got murdered, and then it became. No, he got murdered. He died. AIDS, but I don't know why I said murder, but once you had other LA artists coming up. Most of them black people die. Yeah, it's by murder.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why I said, but his situation, but no, they spun with it. You had all these other rappers. You had Nikki D from, not Nikki D. What's the brother from Philly? He was original.
Schoolie D.
Schoolie D.
Schoolie D. The one that went to jail for prison that robbed the bank.
They call him like the original.
The first gangster rapper.
But prior to that, NWA who made it more, they said, it's reality rap. We call it reality rap. You can watch the interview on YouTube.
Yeah, I know exactly.
They like.
That's good. But let me finish this point about the young people with the guns. So you're 19 or 20, you get caught with a gun. All right, because it's 400 million, maybe more than that, maybe a $500 million. Wow. Guns in this country. That's what we do. So everybody can have a gun except for young blacks, by the way, without being, arrested. Yeah. They don't mind. They don't even they stop white folks and they find guns. They send them on their way. Well, I gotta have a weapon for the people. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you're right, son.
They get excused.
Yeah. Head on good. Keep it. We understand. But what they do to our young people, they put them in jail. Now, does jail help or hurt? I've talked to many people in jail, and they say that doesn't help those kids. Matter of fact, it makes them worse. Yeah, PTSD. It teaches them more disunity, not to trust anybody, not to respect certain people. You know what I mean? So here's what they do. They supposed to be solving. We're gonna get guns off the streets. So they have right now in Philadelphia and here in Baltimore. They're riding around looking for guns. Everybody's got a gun case. So So they gonna put these young people, they find them, they take their gun, they put them in jail. All right. And then the young person becomes another, but he gets out and he wants what? Is he a better person? Does he respect the system even more? I didn't do nothing but have a gun. Everybody else can have a gun. So what does he do? He comes out more bitter, more angry, and they got a better situation for him to pick up the gun again.
Yeah.
And then what they've done, they have systematically understand in this country, they always talk about ex-felons with guns. Well, most black people, even those that are age of 40, 30, late 30s and 40 and left the game alone, they got kids now and they taking care of their family and doing what they supposed to do, right? They all have a conviction for drugs, just about. So when they write these laws, they say if you have a prior conviction for drugs and you get stopped with a gun, even though you weren't a violent person, but you get convicted with a gun. So we're going to hammer you. Literally because you're a convicted felon with a gun.
Because they know a good percentage of us.
A good percentage, half, if not more. And the thing about it, they know that we got guns. I asked the young people, I asked for what percentage of I asked a little 16-year-old kid across the street, said, what percentage you think of your age group have access to a gun and have a gun? I mean, can just get a gun if they really want one. He said 80%. Everybody know where a gun is at. Everybody got a gun. And they have, the weirdest thing about this old country though, how you oppressing somebody, but yet you gonna arm them. What do you think about that? That most, like in South Africa during the apartheid, and still today in Africa, a gun is a rare thing. Only people that have that is authorities. But in our country, they literally, and also in, I know, the United States supplies all the cartels and all the gangsters in the world.
Yeah, we know that.
They give them all the guns. We export more guns than anybody else on the planet. And that's why we put so many.
We're the biggest arms dealer.
And we put a whole lot, this country's a gun crazy country, but
I look at it like it's a corporation, and it is. It's like United States corporation. It's not. That's from me doing poli-sci and traveling. When I had a chance to go to Africa and Japan. When I went to Japan, we studied international politics, and it was people of all different cultures from Europe, Africa, and Dr. Hawkins. He said, he broke down a list of the biggest arms dealers, and he said the U.S. is the biggest arms. I think after was probably like China, and then other countries.
Israel.
Yeah, Israel. Israel was the third. They crazy. So. He was saying, so we started to do research. Like Ronald Reagan was, in order for them to sponsor their the Contra, the Nicaragua Contra, they gave us crack.
Dropped it right on.
Right. And then I remember listening to the OGs.
They gave it to Freeway Ricky Ross.
Yeah, Freeway Ricky Ross. And I remember what's the guy who used to be with Easy and he be on Vlad, but him and his brother talked about in the 80s they would find boatloads of guns on the train tracks. Cherry Hill, we next to the train tracks. You can talk to some of the older guys, not even just the light rail, the actual train, the cargo train. You can talk to some of the older guys, like they would find boxes of guns. These aren't regular people dropping these guns off.
Well, what happens? We have a community. I don't understand why they do it. It's really weird.
I think
that you give the people you oppress all these things.
But it's the mindset. It's
the mind. That's why the mindset.
They know what we're going to do with it.
Shoot each other.
I never forget. Dev. So Dev, they're like my brother. Dev's family. So Dev went to college with me, and Dev, I stopped saying the N-word in college when I realized I'm hurting myself. It took me a while, but it was the hardest thing, but it was the most important thing I did.
You stopped using it?
You know already. I just said I use it now. I use it daily in effect to express what you said.
I got you.
But I told him this years ago. When I said, when did I ever say
what?
No,
it's okay. You started using the N-word.
I'm gonna let you rock out. But damn, right? So I never forget, like in Carver, you can ask someone. We had horrible grades, and Dad one time called home. He said, "Yo, Worm." He said, "Yo, cause they call me Pooch in Baltimore." He said, "Yo, did Pooch get good grades in high school?" And Wormy like, F no, man, fuck no.
Yeah.
He said, Pooch was like us. He was in the halls and all that. He said, yo, he got all A's, yo. He got all A's, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So, but the hardest thing I had to accept was I can do it. Okay. So I was coming from these environments. Our mind's programmed to survival. Yeah. And I didn't think I could do it. But getting all those grades, going to Japan, I'm a kid from Cherry Hill. Doing all this. I'm in law school, so even when he just said you in law school, it just hit me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know how to work the piece.
No, but
you know how to work it.
You taught me that, right? Who taught me?
Yeah, he knows how to work it. You know, I had this live just thinking about you know, Tone said, well, I introduced him and he's this other young boy, and he said, yeah, how you doing? He ended up paying. And then Tone made sure, well, I need to use the phone. Tone gave his phone and it was in Japanese. and then the guy, he said, oh, and Tone is his boy. You speak Japanese?
That was slick.
I was being, I had my phone, no lie, I was being completely honest. I wanted the number because I wanted to just to big myself up like that, but I didn't realize that I have a phone in Japanese. Okay. So it wasn't like, I'm gonna do this. Yeah. No, I just get hit. On him. He was playing me off. Like he was like, okay, whatever. Then he saw my phone, like, oh, Japanese. Okay. Oh yeah, here's my car. Call me tomorrow. I'm like, you ain't do all that, right?
Yeah. So you fluent with Japanese?
I'm enough to know, but
he's not fluent. I'll tell you.
What you I can definitely have a conversation. I can definitely.
I'm a hater. Okay.
No, but technically I am.
What you was gonna ask?
What's up?
All right.
I got another question for you too.
How many guns? We manufacture guns in this country every day. Where they're working overtime now. You know that every store sold out during the month of June. Okay. And there were no guns. You couldn't buy a gun. Every store was sold.
The month of June?
The month of June of this year. They sold more guns in the month of June than they've ever sold in this country since they've been keeping a record.
Damn.
Why? They sold because of the riots and the pandemic, and everybody think, well, this country's getting ready to go. Yeah, this country's getting ready, this country's getting ready to go down. So, my question to you, how many guns do you think we should make in this country? How many guns should people be allowed to have?
I don't think they should make no more.
Whatever they make, they're business. So So do you think they should? Oh, that's a heavy statement. You think that we should?
Business. If we speaking business wise, that's different. I'm speaking of just general life, period. But business wise, how many should one person have?
I don't know. When do we stop making guns?
They ain't gonna never stop.
So that's my point. Mm-hmm. If you're not gonna ever stop making guns, then you need to come up with something other than saying we're gonna get the guns off the streets in my community. Yeah, because they're gonna keep coming. They're gonna keep coming. Yeah, it's like trying to empty Baltimore Harbor with a bucket. Yeah, you're not gonna do that. Yeah. So we have to, instead of talking about concentrating. Now you had countries that have had guns before. Mm-hmm. Everybody in Vietnam had a gun. Mm-hmm. Everybody, because they fought the United States. All the guerrillas and all, they had millions of guns over there because they was fighting America. Mm-hmm. They don't have that issue no more. It's government stopped. Right. So that's what I'm saying. So as long as they're gonna have the guns coming in,
they ain't gonna never stop.
Okay. So what do we have to do as a community to make our community safer? Because we wrapped up, kids have to smoke marijuana. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons that they smoke marijuana because they're uptight. Oppression makes you uptight. You need to relax sometimes. Yeah. So we're gonna have to come up with something, an alternative to talking about locking up black boys because they got a gun. Okay. I mean, that's just stupid. Okay. They're gonna have guns. Okay. We're not gonna get rid of guns. You're making them every day. Yeah. You're making thousands, not a few. Yeah. They sold almost 4 million guns in the month of June. So, Tone, I want to ask you, so how do we as a community, as a black community, as young black men, and they shooting each other, and and I know one period of month, Tone lost 3 young people down here. His friends, his cousins, all of them dead. In short span of what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, like
Something like that. I've, as an attorney, 1 year, I lost 10 clients.
Gun violence.
Yeah, the gun violence. So, Tone, how do you, where does it stop? How do we stop? That's a joke when they say we gonna stop gun violence. We gonna have more police. That's a joke.
I don't pay attention.
All right. So what do we do as a people?
I think it's the mindset first, but I think you can utilize that for a reason. I think the mindset, more importantly, the mindset, understanding who we are. Once I understood who I was as a man, it made me more understanding of my circumstances. And then also give them actual gun training. Like put the gun literally. I think about it logically. We need protection, but not in the sense of what we are.
Protection from who?
Who you think we're talking about?
You need protection from them.
Nah, you need protection from what you just need. I think like this, every man, I think about this, right? Because I was totally against guns. My little sister, almost lost her life. But now my little sister shoot guns. Not in the sense of but she almost literally almost lost her life. I told you the story. But the point I'm making is give them teach them who they are first to be men. If you look at the Nation of Islam, every Fruit Islam guy has a gun. But you see a man, you're not walking around toting a gun. Yeah. You see a man respect, it may be in his household. It's a different level of security. If I'm walking around with a gun, I'm bringing energy to me. But if I have the proper training and I actually understand a circumstance, a level of security, okay, this person's not threatening. I don't need a gun. Leave it in my household. Leave it in my car packed away. It's a respect thing.
But don't you get nervous? I mean, we all have that. And don't you get nervous, young man, when you walking down and hanging out in the streets and then three or four little young brothers walk up.
I become alert.
Exactly.
Oh, you become alert. Okay.
My response to that, I was going to say that if we had more opportunities, that could make a difference. Because just like what Pooch was saying, when he went to college and got away from it, you basically ain't come back for real.
No, I ain't come back for real.
Yeah, so once you get opportunities and you can do other things, but most of the people that's doing this is all they know. This is all they feel like they can do. No, that's why I asked you about people when getting law after college and after getting locked up and stuff, because they don't think you can do nothing like that. But if you get the knowledge to the people and they understand, like, okay, well, I can do this, I can do that, versus I see what is product of your environment. You see what you get and you think that's all it is. I know if I go outside and get a pack and I can make some money.
Yeah.
I know if I get to go outside I can do this, or I can rob somebody, I can do that. But I don't know I can do these other things. So if I only know what I see, then that's all I'm going to do. So once we get to a point, if we ever get to a point, hopefully we do, where we can make these things a normality, going to college and different opportunities in the hood, then maybe it'll decrease. I think it'll definitely decrease. Yeah. But I mean, it probably will stop. Hopefully, God willing, it does. But I think the more opportunity we get or get shown that is other stuff we can do.
Do you have a gun?
No, I don't have
one.
I don't want one either. I don't. I had one before. I had one before, but I don't have one now.
I like that because it shows you have a strong self-knowledge of who you are and the confidence, and you've been able to know who your enemy is. Yeah. And it's not Raheem and Jaheem over there on the corner. Yeah. They don't know. Yeah. They don't have an understanding, but I appreciate that. Everybody wants a gun to protect themselves from us. But like I said, if you put a lot of guns in a community that is hostile and don't have a proper foundation,
somebody gonna get the banging.
Somebody gonna get and all wrapped up. Boy, I'm glad they need to have weed free, because they all tight and they ready to hurt.
They gonna put something in the weed if it become free. So we got wrap up, but I had one more question before we wrap up. It always been a saying, just coming up, and you probably know, just coming up with street niggas and stuff, they always say, like, go with the Jewish lawyer. Coming up, they say go with the Jewish lawyer. So how do you feel about, I guess, from you starting till now, and also just knowing when you know the real deal, because the street nigga always think the Jews gonna win for you. But what's your thoughts on that? Cause have you heard that before?
Oh, I've heard it. I understand it. And
so what's your thoughts on that?
I had to give you one thought. I had to.
Okay.
That is
funny.
My mother, who's a typical black, raised out of Mississippi.
Okay.
White folks, come out of Mississippi. So that means just nothing but racism.
Okay.
And then she found that she was able to afford and buy things from white folks in the white community. Have white doctors and these type of things, integration and so forth. I asked my mother one. She said, I don't nobody black doing nothing for me. And I said, well, no. I said, I just graduated from law. I was just practicing law. And I said, well, moms, I'm a black lawyer. Mm-hmm. I said, you would want me to represent you, wouldn't you? Mm-hmm. And she said, I'd have to think about that.
Oh, shit.
And she doesn't all help me make all this money go lost. But I'm just saying that it is embedded in us.
Yeah.
Particularly from our way of life and our thinking. You see, you have to work on being black. Right. It's not easy. Betty Shabazz told me and other young people at the Congress of African People back in 1970, and then I find it to be true. Mm-hmm. She said, one of the things you young people, when I was just about 18, something like that, 19, something like that, and she said, the hardest thing you young people gonna find out in life, the most difficult thing to do is to love black people. Okay. And I always remember that, and because for whatever reason, I have another quote. Remember this one. Okay. And Hoyt Diamond gave me this one. He said, "You want to help black people?
Put in the book."
He said, "Get ready to get hurt by black people." Okay. And he said, "That's true." Okay. Trust me. But in terms of that whole concept of it doesn't really make, to me, it doesn't make any difference. Nowadays, I brought up my mama because she really had that old-fashioned thinking. Yeah. But today, if you good, you gonna get your business. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You gotta put in the time and the work. A lot of times we're lazy. Mm-hmm. People that are lazy ain't gonna, a lot of times, you will overcome that, like Shaka has overcome that. Mm-hmm. He charged what white folks charge. And he's good, you know what I mean? And you, so you can overcome it. You just got, as anything else in it, you gotta work harder, run faster, jump higher and that, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We just have to work longer hours and work hard on our cases, and they'll come. Okay. I don't do that heavy stuff no more, but I don't have a problem with cases. I think you have to market yourself. Okay. In terms of, if you're gonna go downtown, I never want to be downtown and try to be white. Right. I'm a black lawyer. I'm in a black neighborhood. Right.
So the basically they think like that. They just think a white person just a better look for you.
Yeah, like everything else, And then sometimes you know how it is. Yeah. Like when you go in the bank. Yeah. And you see some bank tailors. You say, nah. Yeah. You go up on something, oh boy, and you got a problem with something. Yeah. And you go in, you gotta go see a black person. Yeah. Oh, I got a problem.
But in all reality, it don't matter.
I don't think so much today. Okay. It depends on your work ethic. Okay. And they losing that. Okay. And you young people helping with these shows like this, educating black people.
That's I'm glad you said
that. That's what's important. You gotta stay on the mic, keep pushing it, and things will get better. Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you.
Last question, and then we gotta wrap up for real. Biggest or most important case you had in your career?
I'm trying to remember. Is it the robbery with the barbecue sandwich?
Oh,
Oh, no.
Robbery.
The most unusual case is a robbery with the barbecue sandwich.
How'd that go?
Well, there's a man said he got robbed by this female, and the choice of weapon was a barbecue rib sandwich.
And it's a real case.
This is a real case. Or it might have been the one, I don't know, there's no different one with the chicken than the one
what?
Well, I'm finished up with the one with the bar. I did the preliminary hearing, and I asked the man. He said, "Well, she hit me with the rib sandwich." And you know this is black, so
Yeah.
She hit me with she hit me with the rib sandwich, and it kind of dazed me. And then she grabbed my chain, and I asked her, I said, "This is important to me, sir. Was that hot or mild salt?" And I had another case where there was a skillet of fried chicken was used as a weapon. And I said, "Hold it, Judge." Something like he got. So the man allegedly hit him with a hit. He was cooking the chicken. The boy came in. And he said, he hit me with the chicken, with the pan of chicken, with the skillet. And I said, "Judge, we have an issue here that nobody's discussed." He just said, "What?" I said, "I don't know what happened to that fried chicken."
The cool man.
Oh, did No, on the serious note, and I really want to be one of these days that I had to talk to him about it. One of the case that I watched, and I didn't become an attorney, an official attorney in it, but I knew all about it, was the Meat Mill case.
Okay.
That if people really understood that case, Meat was certainly victimized.
Okay.
I was in the courtroom with him when the judge sat him up, and we walked out that courtroom. I was just in there for another case, but I said, "I know that kid from somewhere." This boy got big. This is in 2000.
Oh, this the one when the police beat him up?
No, this is the one. This is the one
where
he went to jail.
Okay, the recent one.
Yeah,
Okay.
And
but you knew him before he.
Well, no, I met him in court. I knew of him in the hood, but you know, because he from North too. You know, he was making a little noise, but nothing like. His album just came out, Dreams and Nightmares. Yeah. Just came out, and he's in the courtroom. And I'm like, I know, hey, what's up? And I just sit down and listen. And he left out, and I said, I don't know which one I was at. I said, "You know, they setting you up." He said, "I know it." And one of us said, "Yeah, they set my black ass up." I think he said, "Yeah, they set my black ass up and put me in jail." And I said, "They certainly are, young man." And that's how, then what happened, of course, later down the way, they locked him up, and they locked him up again, they kept harassing him. But they knew exactly what they were doing. Yeah. That's why we're going to talk about the criminal justice system one of these days. I want to go back in.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please
I
do.
appreciate
Please
you.
do. Thank you. Dang, you closed that out real good. You like a professional with that when you close that out.
Yeah,
now we can wrap up.
Yeah, right.
So in closing, now that I got confirmation, y'all hear this, viewers and listeners, Mr. Burt said he definitely going to run it back. So we definitely going to do a part 2, and I got a part 3, and hopefully a 4. I say this with all my episodes that I want to do several. But with this one, like you said, it's important to get this knowledge out there. So I think we should do as many lawyers. Even like my plan is to always mix them up, different people every time, but as many as possible just to spread this knowledge. So
criminal justice reform is a thing.
Yeah,
everybody's talking about.
Yeah, big shit right now.
Really big, and it is.
Yeah.
Reverend Joseph Laurie said the last true bastion of racism is in the criminal justice system in this country. That's when he died at almost 100, right?
Yeah,
something like that. So, okay. All right, my brother. Thank
you. Wait. We got to go. So in close, we always just go around, say your name and how you can get in contact. You can just drop you said your IG and shit, but you can just put out there again. I guess if anybody looking to get some mentorship, you want to put an email out there or what, or just, you know?
They, the phone ring, he's told me earlier, he said that phone rings more than anything. What I'm going to do is is an email address.
Okay.
You want me to do it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. You can reach me at Berto Elmore at MSN, and don't laugh, MSN.com. I know that's old fashioned, but it's BERTOELMORE. That's like one word. I don't know. Y'all
You good? We're big.
Okay. Berto Elmore at that thing, that @ at MSN.com.
And your name is
Bert Elmore.
Look at nobody I just said.
No, just so if somebody do reach out, they know who to address it to.
Okay.
But
it's Berto Elmore, but it's Bert Elmore. That's my name. You can email me, or I even have a website.
Okay.
I don't.
We'll get it. Located in North Philly. Go ahead,
Alright, so there you go, George. So y'all can find me at Barking Thoughts on IG, or Chill Karen, CHIL. Karen, the regular way spelled on IG, or please support the brand by going to chillkaren.com. We have everything going there as far as blogs, catalog, material, and the About Us page. And yeah, I know my email, but I ain't.
No, and I want to say this before we leave.
Go ahead.
I'm really proud of this young man.
Okay.
I really am.
Me too.
Me
too. We need more.
We need more.
We
I'm
need
proud
as
of
much
you too.
representation as possible.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Cherry Hill.
Yeah, shout out to Southside. We talk about South. Knowledge to tell you, we talk about Southside a lot on here because. Like, as you know, my whole father's side from I had rappers on everybody from Cherry Hill. Shout out to the South Side.
Here's the craziest story, but your father and my uncle, not just Uncle Glenn, my other uncle were best friends.
What's his name?
Keith. He passed a while ago.
Okay.
They grew up with each other.
Okay. Shout out to that. Big
Wow.
shout. I love it. Donovan, you want to say something?
No.
Shout out to Houston, Texas. Shout out to Houston, Texas. I'm glad you joined us. Oh, I'm gonna ask you for a favor. Spread it out with everybody you know out there.
I will tell you look familiar, man. I'm on Instagram a lot.
Probably seen it. Hopefully you seen that We Need Answers page, or you seen that Team Boy on Instagram. But closing out till next time, We Need Answers podcast. Thank you.
Yo, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know.